In a recent video, I talked about the Canon R6 Mark II. Ultimately, I was disappointed with it because of the in-body image stabilization and the fact that it wobbles, essentially ruining footage.
Pictures don't really do it justice, to be honest.
After that video, I contemplated selling the camera. That week, we had family staying with us for the week, and they're from out of town, and so of course, we had to take a trip to Yosemite. I thought that this might be a good trip to take the R6 Mark II and really play to its strengths. I turned the in-body image stabilization off, and I made the decision to shoot everything in 4K at 23:9:8 to keep the motion, normal motion, to really showcase the atmosphere of Yosemite. After getting into Yosemite Valley, we split up. The family ended up hiking while Yaz and I went to Degnan's in order to get a little bit of work done. She had to work that day, and I took the opportunity to get some emails out of the way. I really didn't have a plan after this, but I found myself just wandering around and wanting to take some time to just really take in Yosemite as much as I could, because the heat made it difficult to walk around enjoyably that day, but in the shade it wasn't too bad. I took some time at the Ansel Adams Gallery, which is a must stop for a photographer, especially if you're shooting film. This is a great place to kind of refill on some film. They also have original prints made by Ansel Adams himself, along with reproductions. The post office caught my eye because it's such a interesting post office to look at that's different from most others, given that it's styled in the way of most of the buildings in Yosemite. Kind of tucked away not too far from Degnan's is this museum. It's literally a building with just one single sign that says museum on it, and you can walk in there and learn a little bit about the culture of Yosemite and some of the indigenous tribes that were there.
Not so much, I just broke one.
Eventually I found myself towards the middle of the valley, and I found some shade and just took a moment to really kind of be there and take in this place that I love so much. While Sea Log 3 is not a profile with the most dynamic range compared to others, it still produces these beautiful colors. And I found it odd that in the middle of summer in Yosemite that it was so green. Towards the end of the day, Yaz and I met back up and we ended up going around the valley. I am loving the combination of taking a digital camera that is a hybrid that can shoot both photos and videos in the Canon R6 Mark II, and then also bringing a film camera for the moments where I just want to shoot film. In my early days, I didn't pay much attention to using a neutral density filter when shooting video. And these days I find it really important to use a variable ND, and I use the Polar Pro Peter McKinnon. It's a mist / 2 to 5 stop ND filter, and I personally love the little bit of warmth that it adds and a little bit of the softening of the digitalness in an image. It really, I think, helps to maintain some of that dynamic range and some of that organic feel in this footage. We ended up back at Curry Village to meet up with the rest of the family and had a little bit of time and decided to explore behind Curry and found the remnants of this old fireplace and this old structure that used to be there. After meeting up with the family, we ended up stopping at El Cap Meadow, which is a fan favorite. If you've been following my channel for any amount of time, you've seen this repeatedly. However, this footage that I got in El Capitan is really special to me just because the colors are so vibrant, and this combination of clips really, I think, showcases and captures what it's like to be there. Ultimately, I think that we can find flaws with just about any piece of gear that we have, but if we really enjoy using that piece of gear, then I think that we're more apt to find ways to make it work. And in this particular scenario, I enjoy using this camera, and while it may not give me the highest quality results that I can get, it gives me results that I'm happy with. Truthfully, at the end of the day, I really just enjoy using this camera, and the price point right now makes it worth it, I think, because this camera is dipping below $2,000 easily. I think I've seen refurbished, it's going from the $1,700 range, and I think that's only gonna get better and better as time goes on, making this camera a great value for the money and for the performance that you get. As long as you're willing to maybe sacrifice in-body image stabilization in video, this camera can still produce really good results. And I think I might hold on to it for a little bit longer and enjoy using it. As always, comments are welcome, and feel free to ask any questions down in the comments. My name is David J. Orozco, and I will see you in the next one.